Hey, 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 it's day 2. How y'all doing? Let me get you set up here so you can see me and all my fun tools. Let's just wait a few minutes to see who's going to join us, who's going to hop on. Woohoo, I'm excited. We had a great first day, day 1, and we learned how to stand better. We learned about posture. We learned how to get our feet to look straight and not be duck feet, because duck feet is just going to hurt our low back. So yeah, it's great. We're learning so much stuff here, and it can be really simple. It could be such a really simple thing that is going to help you get out of pain. And it's cumulative. Remember, it's not just one thing. It's how you move your body every day. It's little things. So now that I have a few of you on, I want to show off. Look at my shoes. Yes, I paid for these shoes one time. I bought them. What do you guys think? Are they your style? I know. Try walking in them. You'll nearly kill yourself. So if you're listening, I want you to put in the box where you're from, that you're on, just so I know that I'm not talking to nobody. I'll feel lonely. So, and I just want to know that you guys can hear me. Did you get a chance to watch the video today? It was just a quick little video, yet very, very profound. Very, very profound. So we're going to talk about shoes today. We're going to talk about any of your questions. I want you to post them here down below in the comments, and we'll just kind of warm up. How was your day? How'd your body respond to whatever it is that you chose to do or that you had to do today, right? So I got my sign straightened up. Look at this. Today it's day 2, and we're going to talk about back, hips, and pelvis. And as soon as I just get some little bit of, can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure. So we're going to talk about back, hips, and pelvis, and it really just gets done with this simple little strap that can really change your life. You can take this with you on an airplane. I have done it in an airport. I put my jacket down on the ground. I got my foot in here, and I started stretching away, and I felt better. And it was something to give me to do other than just sitting there at the airport. So this is a good little tool. It's handy. You can keep it at your desk. You can keep them in one in your bedroom, one up in your office, wherever you want in your house, and use them. And I'm not going to go into detail with this today because you have that great video that I made that's pretty simple. Again, you can stretch your legs in your chair, and also you could just get on the floor and do it there or in your bed. And I'll just share with you if you guys can see that. Yeah, it is great. Yeah, Lois is asking, such great tools that we can have at home, and they can be so profound, you know? Hi, Rebecca. Mwah, I hope you're doing better. I really, really do. So I want you to see here, can you see my legs? This is my 3-dimensional man. He's pretty cool because he's 3D up there, right? So let's see. It's one of those days for me, I'll admit it. It really is just one of those days. I worked really hard today. So, okay, all of our thighs and our feet muscles all come down here. So if you look at here, people often think, oh, I have foot pain. And when they come to me for foot pain, I'm always having them look at their calves. And we're going to go into great detail tomorrow about your calves and why it's important to stretch them. So if you look here, look at how this big muscle goes down, but it also crosses into the feet. Can you see that? So we've got all these muscles. These are the extrinsic muscles of the feet. And so we call the inner ones the intrinsic muscles. So when we're having foot issues, I always like to look above, okay? It's a pulley system too. So when I was talking about releasing the low back, the hips, and the pelvis, it's kind of like you have to do the whole thing. Because when you make the bed and you pull one corner and it affects the other corner, that's how fascia is in our body, and it's super duper important to look at all areas of that. So that being said, we're going to talk about, today we talked about releasing in the video, releasing the hips up there and all the way down to the feet. And it's super duper important. And I asked you in the video to try one leg first and then stand up. And you're going to feel a difference. You're going to feel more alive, more awake. right? It's going to be like really, really good for you. And these are just simple things that you can do to help your body feel better after too much sitting, after too long of standing. If you're in the hospital and you've been in bed for a really, really long time, and say maybe one side of your body's affected, you could definitely at least do it on the other side of the body. So these are all just simple little things. And even if you don't have a strap, heck, just move your leg up in the air, move your arms in the air, start moving much, much more freely, and it will really, really make a difference. So if anything I'm saying is sounding and resonating with you, I want you to give me some hearts. See, I'm straightened out today. I had to write backwards. That was quite a brain challenge. So again, we're day 2 talking about back, hips, and pelvis. And anytime we say something that you resonate with, just so I know that I'm giving you some good information, give me some hearts. So let me just share a little bit for someone who hadn't maybe watched yesterday. And my name's Phaedra Antioco, and I'm a pain relief coach. And I'd like to say that I'm pretty holistic in how I work. So I address trauma that can be from the current injury that you're having. It could be trauma from 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It all starts to add up in our body. And why I got onto this path of seeking out solutions for pain is because I had this tiny little car accident. Not a big deal, right? And then this was me in a full body brace. So I really broke myself from head to toe, and it gives me a great awareness inside my body because I've had such severe pain in there. And so I've had to learn to work through all the injuries, because when you have an injury, when you have surgery, it affects you. Its scar tissue builds up. Even if you don't have surgery, the seatbelt lacerated my belly really, really deep. And so I have a scar there, and then it pulls so if you look up, you can't really see up here, is the belly. It pulls all the way down, and I have a broken leg. So there's this huge fascial line of just tightness. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, if you can see this. And Lois is saying that she, in 2 days, yes, and you messaged me that you've got some balls and you're working all these muscles out. That's so awesome. It really, really is. And whether you sit a lot for work or you just sit a lot. And so if you notice, I'm sitting on the floor, and I'm doing that because sometimes when you sit on the floor, it's great because you have to get up. So you have to get up. And so it's using all sorts of different muscles, and that's what's really, really great. So we got our moving pelvis over here. So you guys have any questions? I want you to shoot away with your questions and let me know what you thought about the video. I know, Donald, you said you liked it. Was it helpful? It's not rocket science, but we've really forgotten to move. We really, really have. So I joked in the beginning, I did buy these shoes once, and gosh, I think I was like 28. And I still own them because I spent a lot of money on them. I gotta get rid of them now. I never wear them. I will kill myself if I wear these. So we talked yesterday a little bit. Like I said, I had a client I was talking to who was wearing snow boots, right? And the snow boots are like casts on your feet. So there's different levels of shoes that you can wear. And I'll just start with the minimalist types of shoes. So these are, and I don't necessarily recommend these or that you start with these, but I'm just going to start from the most minimal shoe to the high heel. Lois, I think you should wear these. I think these will look really good on you. What about you, Linda? You can stretch your tight thighs with these high heels on. Do you guys have shoes like this in your closet? Or do you wear them? They're killer shoes. They kill you. So these are the most minimalist, and these are the most dangerous. These are the most natural to being barefoot, and these are so far from being barefoot that it's dangerous. But also, one little tidbit, if you sit in your desk chair, Lois, think about it. If your feet are not flat on the floor, but you're on your tippy toes, then your tiptoes, you're shortening your calf. Just do that for me. Just put your feet like that. And then notice how the calves shorten. And that's why I wanted you to do the calf stretches. All right, so these are the most minimalist shoes. And you might see people who are wearing the 5-fingered toe ones. I don't do that, let's just say. So I bought these. They're box toe. They're just like regular shoes, but you could just fold them up. Now, they are you have to work towards these. You can't just go and say, I'm going to buy minimalist shoes and I'm going to wear them, because you're going to hurt yourself. These are, these are Merrell's, and if you look, these are worn out, but if you look in here, they'll usually say how many millimeter of cushion you will have in these shoes. These are 0 millimeter cushion, okay? Then going up to the next ones, these are a little more solid. I could walk, I could hike in these absolutely no problem. And why I say wearing the minimalist shoes, it's closest to being barefoot. It's closer to being barefoot so that you're going to be using your foot muscles. All of those feet muscles, those tiny little intrinsic muscles, all those bones in there. That's super duper important to get your feet moving and use them, and we've stopped. And for me, I don't have duck feet, but I do have a drop foot. So the car accident, I had such a bad leg break that my foot turns in. So if you see me in videos, you might see my foot turn in a little bit. So I have to work on keeping it out. So I use these to help strengthen me. So again, these are the most minimalist shoes. And then these are like kind of minimalist shoes. And then these are an interesting shoe. I just brought these because these are the most bulkiest shoes that I have. But these are actually a 0 drop shoe. And a 0 drop shoe it means that the toes are higher than the heel. So if you were to take, even if it were like the TV remote and you put it on the floor down in front of you, or you roll a little towel, and put them under this part of your foot, you're going to have a little bit of back into your heel kind of a feeling, and you should try it. And I don't have this set up right now that I could show it to you, but basically if you just take, even if you have your shoe here, you can just take it and put your foot on it, and you'll be more back in your heel, and it's just a sense of freedom on your back. So when you're wearing killer shoes like this, you're actually throwing your whole spine and pelvis forward, and it's not good. And I literally saw a woman when I was recovering last summer from my back injury. She went to the chiropractor wearing these shoes, and she laid down on the chiropractic table and they did their jumping, cracking thing on them, and she was wearing high heels, and then she gets up and she's wearing heels again. There's something wrong with that. So again, look at a shoe like this versus a shoe like this. This, you're going to get more foot action and mobility. We don't do this enough. So if you can, play around with walking at home, walking without shoes, if you can. Now, Megan asked about flip-flops, if they're good or not. Well, hold on. I love them. I'm in Arizona. Arizona is like opening the oven and standing in front of it today. So I buy ones that have a little bit of a groove and foot support in there. But look what happens when you put your shoe on and you walk. You have to scrunch your toes, and it hurts. It hurts a lot over time. And again, it's fine when it's just for, a couple hours or so. But over the lifetime, your feet start to hurt. And so what I recommend for that is a golf ball, and you massage your foot. And I got lots of balls, and we're going to learn all about this stuff in this week, so don't you worry. But you can try this at home if you have some kind of ball tonight. You're going to hurt yourself. It's going to hurt. Take one of the balls, I like a golf ball or a spiny ball, and start with a chair, because you won't like me if you stand and do this first, unless you like torture. But you're going to, yes, this is the joke, Sherry and Megan and Lois. But it's so true. These will change your life. This is like myofascial release 101, and this will help you get out of pain. So again, flip-flops, you scrunch your feet. High heels, you're high on your heels. Your calves get tight. So you take these balls and you find wherever it hurts and you hold there. There's no rhyme or reason. You just put pressure on there several minutes. Do 1 foot at a time. Walk after you do it and see the difference. It's pretty phenomenal. So when I work with people, I'm always teaching them self-treatment techniques. I wish more therapists would do this. I had to find it on my own because it does cost money to go out and get treatments. So I've devised crazy things to help me get out of pain. And so some of those things are what I'm teaching you here in this series. And so I'm not going to go too all out crazy here, but this is a lacrosse ball. And then this is just a little yellow ball that's soft. And then a client went to Glacier National Park and got me this pretty ball because everybody knows that these are very helpful for pain. Okay. So that being said, any questions on what we've covered so far? Yep. Yeah, and Sherry, don't get an adjustment with high heels like that one crazy woman that I saw. I just wanted to scream, right? I'm really educated because I've been there in my own pain. I've been a therapist for almost 20 years. And when I see a chiropractor adjusting someone in high heels, it's bad. It's bad. So if we look at our pelvis, we'll try to get this all in the view here. And if you're on your tippy toes, it's tilting the pelvis forward, bottom line, causing a lot of problems. So we talked about knee pains here too, now that I see all these bones. The muscles come from the hip all the way down to the feet. So that's why it's really important to do the stretches that I showed you in day 2 of the challenge, because it is all connected. And did you guys try it? Did anyone try it? Because I really want to hear how painful it was. Because if it was painful and you were burning, that means your fascia is tight and you need to do it regularly. But if you just pick 10 minutes a day to do it, it's very effective and can help you. So that's pretty much it as far as the minimalist shoes. I like Merrell brand. You can play with it. You can go to Merrell.com. You could look at the minimalist footwear and start with the ones who maybe have 8mm cush, 6mm cush, or 4. I say if you go right into this, it might be a little uncomfortable. And when you're walking, I want you to play with where you're walking. Notice how your feet feel on carpet, on tile, on concrete, on dirt, on rocks, on grass, on mountains. When you're having to, and another good thing to add to your walk is attempting, if you can, if you're not in too much pain, is walking uphill, because then you're going to work your glute muscles. So homework, get some type of little ball and roll out your feet and see how it feels. See if you start to feel good. So if I have a patient come to me or a client I coach with online and their knee is hurting, I can pretty much fine tune where in their body they need the release. So I'll tell them, hey, get the golf ball and work this foot in this spot. And that literally can release all the way up to the knee. So sometimes you have knee pain, but I promise you, oftentimes it's not from your knee unless you have a direct injury or a meniscal tear. So again, it's all connected. So if you're sitting all day long, all these muscles get tight and they're going to pull all the way up and down your leg. It's a pulley system. So there's a big fat muscle here. It's called the rectus femoris. And when that is tight, if you're sitting at a desk working all day and you get up and you're stiff and you're crotchety and you hurt, chances are that big fat rectus femoris muscle is really tight. And then I think it was Linda, you mentioned that your inner thighs are really tight. So if you're sitting with a laptop and you're typing and you're squeezing your legs together, if you like to sit with your legs crossed, then that could be a problem. Over time, it adds up and your body starts to turn the shape of the positions that you're in all the time. So Lois says, when I did the belt stretch, putting my leg across, one side stretched in the right place, but the other side would only strain up the back of my knee, would strain up, yeah. So then I say if you're sitting cross-legged, and you're going to learn this tomorrow, we often will, if we sit cross-legged, we always have a favorite that we cross over. So it could be that one side is overstretched more than the other, and it's about finding balance. It's about finding balance in your hips. And okay, I didn't want to bring up too much into the trauma piece because this isn't about doing trauma, but often I investigate, I explore, I go back. And if you've had a history of, for example, a really severe sprained ankle, you broke your toe on that side of your foot, it could all add up. So I say, oh, let's take a stroll back through your lifetime and let's see what might have caused that. Could there have been an injury? Could you have been playing on the playground and you had a crush on little Johnny and he was mean to you and he pushed you and you fell on your knee? Literally things like that can show up. It can show up and it's not always fun. So that's where I do deep dive sessions with my clients to dig out and find out where the pain might be coming from. Because yeah, it could be something that's just started. It could be fresh and new from a banged your leg, but it could also be from when you were 5 years old on the playground. I kid you not, I see this all the time. I really, really do. So, and then Linda, you were talking about how you like Vionics. I like Vionics. I feel like the quality isn't like, they're pretty and they're cute and they have the arch support, but it's not like a good solid shoe like Naote, N-A-O-T. Naotes, they're pricey, but they're great. I have a broken bone in my leg, which I'm now pain-free due to prolotherapy, PRP, and amniotic membrane injections. But I did go and buy Naote shoes, and I was able to walk through New York City without a problem, go to all the museums, stand on my feet the whole time, because I brought the Naote shoes and I brought my yoga strap and my balls. Yep. This is amazing, by the way. I have one everywhere. I have one in my car, so when I'm driving home and my upper back hurts, I can reach for it and put it behind me and just massage my muscles. So again, not always fun and comfortable at first, but you have to work up to it. Yeah, Linda, check out Naote. And so here's what my little, I'm a bargain shopper, because all of my money goes to training and learning more, because I'm so passionate about that, but also getting my own body work. I think body work is really, really important. So the Naote shoes can be like $180. But if you find your size, because they're in European sizes, 37, 38, 39, 40, you find your size, you can easily find a pair, if you're not grossed out by this, that's pre-owned, but no one really wore them, for like $40. So I'd way rather have 5 pairs at $40 off of eBay than paying $180 for one pair. Do you know what I mean? So I just find ways to go for these products, because I just love them. But again, all my money goes to body work. So if you guys are liking what I'm saying, give me some hearts. Come on, give me some love. Is this resonating? I want to hear from you about how your day was, how your body's feeling. I do have questions from the surveys you filled out that I'm happy to answer. Oh, I love it. I'm getting my hearts. So we talked about shoes. And, I wear flip-flops. I do. But you can just take one of your balls or I even use a river rock. You guys try this out. Grab some river rocks and keep them in your kitchen. Just hide them in a drawer or something. And when you're cooking, boiling the water, you can stand on these river rocks. And because you know why I say this, and you'll learn in tomorrow's lesson, when the older we get, the more adulting, the more busy we get, running a house, running a business, working, driving, taking care of the kids, our body starts to get neglected a little bit. It starts to tighten up. And so as we get older, when you're in your 80s, I have a lot of clients and they couldn't handle walking on these. I set up obstacle courses with yoga blocks and little walking thing. They can't do it. So for me to just tell you yesterday, sit on the floor, try something different, stretch out your legs differently, because then you're going to be working different muscles, right? So you can sit on your knees, you can cross your legs, you can put your legs straight out in front, you can spread them apart wide, and then if you do that several times throughout the day, you're just changing it up a little bit and you're getting yourself out of the chair. So that's really good stuff. So again, river rocks are really, really great, and they also massage your feet. Really, really do. So I have a bunch of questions here, unless you guys have any direct questions. I'm definitely happy to help. And tomorrow we're going to learn more about the whole leg and calf stretches. And how do I say this? If you're tight, it could be a little bit of torture, but it just is a sign that you need to keep working and keep releasing the muscles. So I'm just going to peek in here. You guys liking this so far? Anyone out there? So I was listening today and I was studying about early childhood trauma. And if you came from a family where you were neglected, or you had an abusive parent, or they weren't there to nurture you and help you, the study showed that you're more likely to not be an extrovert, you're more likely to not be outgoing and reach out for help, because you might feel rejected. You just don't know how to do it. And I remember, as a strong, independent woman that I am, when I was broken, I went from a wheelchair to a walker to a quad cane to a cane, and it was so hard for me to accept help. And so, my parents loved me. I had lots of support, but I also just found that I have this fight in me and I'm going to do it. But I just thought it was really interesting, the effects of early childhood trauma on how we present ourselves today. And I have some clients, and they're watching, and they hear me talk about trauma and pain and and they just don't understand. And I say, well, how are your parents to you? Were they loving? Were they together? Did you have all your needs met? And the two most adjusted clients that have the most positive attitudes, that they come in, we release their muscles, and then they're fine, they're the ones that are well adjusted. But when you have all this dysfunction and you grow up with all of this challenges, our nervous system gets impacted. The way we feel safe in the world gets impacted. So when I work with people, we create a safe environment. And we're creating a group program called the Breaking Free from Pain program. And it's going to be a small group of people. And we're going to be there to stand for each other, to support each other, to reach our goals of staying out of pain, to getting out so you can walk the dog without pain, sit on the ground with the grandchildren and play with them, travel to Italy if you want to. My dear client Janice is off in Italy right now because she got rid of her sciatica and shooting nerve pain down her leg, and she's doing it. And I was happy to suggest to her the shoes to get. I took pictures. I went to my favorite store. I took all the pictures of the Nyote spring line. I was like, you've got to get some of these. And she's having a great time, and her pain hasn't flared up, living in Italy, or staying in Italy for a couple weeks, and she's eating bread, all the gluten in the world, and she's surviving. So Cindy had it last week. So how are you doing? Did you watch the video? I think that would be really, really great for you to really get into doing the strap stretches. And you can also stretch your arms out with these. If you tie a loop and you tie it to the door and you pull, let's see, so it would be like that, and you pull your arm. I need another hand. And then you get a nice arm stretch. And remember, we're going to keep going, but with this in the series, it'll progress. Again, simple little things that you can add in your day is laying down on the ground with a pillow with your chest open and your palms up. Try that. And so, like Gina, you're mentioning the ACEs score. Yeah, I'm like an 8 or a 9. It's insane, right? My client did say to me, he's like, you're really well adjusted for for being through so much, because my life can be like a soap opera sometimes, because I'm such a giver and I help people and I'm very accepting. And so there's been a little bit of challenges that hit me. But my nervous system has adjusted so well doing the work that I do that all these dodgeballs that come at me, I'm doing great. And so that's what I support people with, because I know there's people watching that are down and out, can't see a way out. They're scared, they're afraid, they're frustrated, and maybe they've given up. So check in with your posture, because your posture is a sign of where and how you're feeling in your body. Where are you feeling the pain? Shame, it's crunched over, it's like scared, it's afraid. But what if you stand up tall and you stand up proud and you recall a time in your life where you were able to wear those beautiful high heels that I threw out the window here. You were able to put on that little black dress and wear some high heels, and you could do whatever you wanted on the weekend. You didn't have to say, oh, my back, my sciatica pain's impacting me, I can't go out. Or my husband wants me to do something this weekend and I'm clenching inside because I'm scared, I don't think I can do it. And then you shut down. So let's work on opening up, being expansive, and starting to live life. And it could be one simple strap stretch to get you moving. One simple stretch. So that's the key. It's movement, it's exercise. Is your lifestyle inflammatory? Is there a miscommunication with your husband? Are you able to share with him openly the pains that you're having? These are things that contribute to our pain when we're not true to ourselves and we're just trapped in our own mind sometimes. So, all right, last opportunity for some questions. And while you guys think of them, I'll peek over here and see. Someone asked, what can I do to relieve pain and stiffness in my legs? When I've tried almost everything, I still hurt. So I want to ask if you can try the strap stretch. And Lois said she tried it and she's feeling better just in 2 days. So that's pretty incredible. Here's another tip that I like, that I learned because I was broken a little bit in the past, is compression stockings. They're not for little old ladies. You know, I think of Mama's Family, that TV show where she'd have them stockings like rolled up just below her knees. But if you buy a nude pair color, no one will see them. You wear them under your slacks, you wear them under your jeans, especially when you're traveling. I learned this tip from a surgeon who's on his feet all day, and it helps increase and improve the circulation. Because when you improve the circulation, you take those socks off at night. No one sees them, right? If you're wearing slacks, you feel energized, you feel more awake, and you feel more alive. So, hi Rita, how you doing? Thanks for saying hi. I'd love to know, by the way, where you guys are all from. I know Lois is from New Zealand, Sherry's from Iowa. Where else are you guys from? And Rebecca's from North Carolina. So let's see what else we got here. And we talked about how to help relieve a knee injury. Someone here was asking about that. Because how do you change ingrained habits, right? You have to set reminders. You can set a reminder in your phone. Sit properly. Stand up. Take a break. Stretch your strap, you know? Those things like that can be really, really helpful. So how do you ingrain it? You can put a sticky note on your fridge. You can put a sticky note on your mirror when you're brushing your teeth in the morning. I'm going to give you some ideas tomorrow that you can do while you're brushing your teeth. That's pretty cool. It's a calf stretch, and it's really, really great. We have some Texas girls here. Hi, guys. Nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in with me a little later here than the West Coast. And Cindy, you're all the way from New Hampshire. It's beautiful there. Well, thank you guys. Are you guys liking this so far? What do you think? I said, give me some hearts. Give me some hearts. So again, we're talking about back, hip, and pelvis today. It is all connected. So we just need to get out of the chair and start stretching. I hope you can write in the comment below if you've watched this, if you've tried this stretch and you don't have a yoga strap, that's fine. Use a large towel, a long length towel, or you can use a belt or a scarf. That's what I did when I was in the airport. I had a scarf on. I didn't bring my strap that time, and I laid on the floor with my jacket there because the snow needed to melt off the airplane. And so there's also with the lacrosse ball, travel with this. Have a ball in your car, in your purse. It's very, very effective if you're hurting. And it's not like you have to do this forever. You just do this when you are feeling the pains of the day. And we'll go in, as you guys follow me and hang with me more, we will go into depth. In the Break Free from Pain program, what I do is customized videos. So if you need help and you're having a specific idiot, where did that come from? Anyway, brain slip here. But if you're having little issues, then we can pinpoint what those issues are. Because I'm telling you, unless you're bone-on-bone arthritis, there's always a muscle somewhere that can be released. There's always a thought that needs to be shifted. There's always your nervous system needing to feel safe. I see it all the time. So it's looking at all areas of your life. And one more let's see, one more question. How do I relieve physical pain from the physical traumas I've experienced? Again, using the balls, doing the ball work, stretching, moving. You can, Lois just said, I even slept with my little ball last night and it was really comfortable to relieve shoulder discomfort. You are not the first person to tell me that. This is a great little ball. It's a sport time. all ball 4-inch. Let's see if we can, all ball 4-inch, and you can get this on Amazon, and it's pretty amazing. You don't want to go too hard, but this is great for the tush and the back and the belly. So again, self-massage is really, really great. Mellowing out at night. I have a salt lamp. I have a furry rug. I lay there. I use the balls. I use the foam rollers. I use the half foam rollers, which we're going to learn about tomorrow. And it's just great, but it's really stopping and pausing to take care of yourself and to free and not be on the go, go, go. Because when you're on the go, 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 your jaw's clenching, your mind is racing, thinking of the things you have to do and grab to just to get out of the house, to be there on time. And so we do need these spaces of little pauses in our day. So I'm going to pause right now, and I want you to notice what happens in your body when I pause. And are your ears like kind of up here from the day? Or can you bring them down lower? Are you clenching in your jaw? Is your low back tight? Are you gripping your toes? And just notice what happens as I slow down my tempo and my talking. And sometimes it's hard to do this on our own. We like to be busy, we like to do. So when I work with people, I'm there and I show up, we hold that space, and I call it co-regulating and help you get through those challenging times. Because often if your mind is racing and it's like pinball, like just go, 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 I'm going to invite you just to feel the space between those ping pong ball thoughts, those pinball thoughts. And sometimes it's really just slowing down. Yeah. So is that a good place to stop tonight? We learned a lot. So be curious how your feet are in your shoes. Play with that. Be comfortable. Go barefoot. Stand on river rocks. Get a yoga strap and stretch your legs. Do it on a regular basis. That was great, you guys. Thank you so much. Day 2, hips, back, and pelvis. Put your comments below, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And I'll see you tomorrow as we learn more, deeper, greater things. Good night.